Welcome. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about books on lifestyle design and productivity, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. First published in 2007, its message has resonated with millions, becoming a cornerstone for anyone looking to fundamentally change their relationship with work. If you've ever felt stuck in the relentless 9-to-5 grind, dreaming of freedom but unsure how to get there, this book offers bold ideas that may change how you think about work and life. It's for the person who feels their best years are slipping away in a cubicle, who believes there must be more to life than endless meetings and a 2-week vacation. Ferriss argues that the old model of work, save, retire is broken. So, what's the deal with working just 4 hours a week? Is it really possible or just wishful thinking? The title is a deliberate provocation. It's not about clocking in for 240 minutes and then disappearing. It's about achieving maximum output with minimum input, freeing up your time for what truly matters. In this summary, we'll unpack Ferriss's philosophy, explore practical examples, and walk through his step-by-step framework for escaping the daily hamster wheel. We'll explore how to redefine success, reclaim your time, and build a life of freedom and adventure. Not in 40 years, but right now. Why does this book matter? Ferriss challenges the assumption that the traditional, time-heavy work model is the only way to live. He argues that we've been conditioned to measure productivity by time spent at a desk rather than by the results we produce. He asks, what if you could build a life that prioritizes freedom, time, and mobility without sacrificing income? It's not about laziness, it's about working smarter and focusing on what truly matters. It's about designing a system where your business serves your life, not the other way around. Core ideas and framework. The book revolves around what Ferriss calls the new rich, people who abandon the old deferred life plan of retiring at 65 and instead create a lifestyle of luxury in the present. For the new rich, the ultimate currency isn't money, it's time and mobility. To get there, he introduces a simple yet powerful framework called DEAL, which stands for definition, elimination, automation, and liberation. Let's take a closer look at each step. First is definition. This is about redefining your goals and what wealth means to you beyond money. It's about freedom and fulfillment. Ferriss introduces a critical exercise called fear setting, where you define your worst-case scenarios, making the leap toward your dreams less terrifying. You also create a dreamline, a tangible list of what you want to have, be, and do, and calculate the actual monthly cost to live that dream. You'll often find it's far more achievable than you imagined. Next comes elimination. This is where you ruthlessly cut out the unnecessary. Ferriss champions the 80-20 principle, or Pareto's law, which states that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. The goal is to identify that critical 20% and eliminate the rest. This means practicing a low-information diet by avoiding pointless news and social media, checking email only twice a day, and learning to say no to time-wasting meetings and requests. It's about being effective, not just busy. The third step is automation. Once you've eliminated the non-essential, you automate what's left. This is about creating a business or system that runs without your constant involvement. Ferriss calls this your muse. You find a niche product, validate it, and then build a system to handle sales, customer service, and fulfillment. This often involves hiring virtual assistants, or VAs, to manage day-to-day tasks. The key is to create detailed standard operating procedures, or SOPs, so that anyone can run the system, freeing you from being the bottleneck. Finally, we have liberation. This is the ultimate goal, breaking free from the traditional office and location constraints. If you have a job, this means strategically negotiating a remote work arrangement, proving you can be more productive outside the office. If you've built an automated muse, you're already free. Liberation allows you to take mini-retirements, extended trips of 1 to 6 months, to travel the world, learn new skills, or simply live life on your own terms, without waiting for old age. It's about distributing retirement throughout your life, instead of saving it all for the end. Definition: knowing what you really want. The first step in the DEAL framework is about replacing assumptions with clarity. Ferriss points out how most people get stuck chasing vague goals like make more money, when what they really want is the freedom that money can buy, freedom to travel, to spend time with loved ones, or just to breathe. To get specific, he recommends a vision exercise. Imagine your perfect day, from the moment you wake up to when you go to sleep. What are you doing? Who are you with? Where are you? Writing this down in vivid detail transforms an abstract wish into a concrete set of goals. But defining your dream is only half the battle. The other half is overcoming the fear that holds you back. This is where Ferriss introduces fear setting, a powerful practice for calculating the true risks of inaction. You start by defining your worst-case scenario if you take the leap. Then, you brainstorm ways to mitigate or repair that potential damage. Finally, you weigh this against the massive, often permanent cost of doing nothing, of staying in a situation that makes you unhappy. This simple exercise reveals that the risks of change are often temporary and reversible, while the risk of stagnation is absolute. For example, Ferriss shares his own story. Before his breakthrough, he was working exhausting hours at a startup. He realized he wanted time and options more than a traditional career ladder. This shift in mindset is crucial. Instead of working harder, figure out what you want your life to look like, and then engineer your work to serve that life. Elimination. The art of ignoring the unnecessary. One of the book's game-changing ideas is applying the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So why not focus only on the vital few tasks that really matter? Ferriss gives a vivid example of his email habits. Instead of constantly checking email, he limited his inbox checks to twice a day, dramatically reducing distractions and stress. He also suggests saying no more often, cutting meetings that don't produce value, ignoring low-impact requests. Automation, making money work for you. This might be the part that sounds the most futuristic. Ferriss urges readers to outsource tasks that consume time but don't require your unique skills. He used virtual assistants overseas to handle customer service and order fulfillment for his online business. One memorable case study is the Muse business, a small automated online store selling fitness products designed to run with minimal intervention. The idea is to build a system that generates income on autopilot, so your time is freed up for more meaningful pursuits. Liberation, freeing yourself from location and time. Maybe the boldest promise of the book, working from anywhere. Ferriss argues that if your job can be done remotely, there's no reason to remain chained to an office. He shares stories of negotiating remote work agreements with employers or clients, creating mini-retirements, extended breaks where he traveled abroad while still earning. The idea is to design your lifestyle around your passions and world, not the other way around. So, how do you begin this journey? Let's put it all together with a clear, actionable plan. This isn't about a sudden, drastic overhaul, but a series of deliberate steps toward designing a life of freedom and purpose. First, you must define what freedom truly means for you. Go beyond vague ideas. Get specific. What would your ideal day look like from morning to night? Write it down. Then, confront your fears head-on with Ferriss's fear-setting exercise. What's the absolute worst that could happen if you pursued this ideal life? Define it. Think about how you could prevent it and how you would repair it. You'll often find the downside is far less terrifying than the regret of never trying. This clarity becomes your compass. Next, ruthlessly eliminate. Apply the 80-20 principle. What 20% of your activities are producing 80% of your desired results? Focus there. For the rest, eliminate what doesn't matter and minimize what does. Stop checking email constantly. Batch it into 2 sessions a day. Politely decline meetings without a clear agenda. Track your time for a week to uncover where the hours truly go, then reclaim them. This isn't about being lazy, it's about being effective. Now, build systems to automate your income. This is the core of the 4-hour concept. Create a product or service, your muse, that can be sold and delivered without your direct, hour-for-hour involvement. Document every process, creating standard operating procedures, or SOPs. Then, delegate. Use virtual assistants and automation tools to handle customer service, order fulfillment, and marketing. Your goal is to become the owner who oversees the system, not the operator trapped within it. Finally, liberate yourself. If you're in a traditional job, start by proving your value. Propose a trial remote work period, perhaps 1 or 2 days a week. Use this time to be hyper-productive, delivering even more value than you do in the office. Present your increased output with clear data. This transforms the conversation from a request for a perk into a business case for efficiency. You're not asking for a favor. You're demonstrating a better way to work. With your automated income and newfound flexibility, you can escape the trap of deferring life until retirement. Plan and schedule mini retirements, extended breaks of 1 to 6 months. Throughout your life, not just at the end of it. Use this time to travel, learn a new language, or master a skill. Don't wait for old age to live fully. The 4-hour workweek isn't about literal idleness. It's a radical re-examination of the relationship between your time, your income, and your life. It's about designing a life where your time is your most precious asset, and your work is focused, valuable, and serves your life, not the other way around. Tim Ferriss invites us to question the default script of working 40 years for a deferred retirement. He challenges us to build a life defined by experience, freedom, and intentionality, starting now. Even if you don't cut down to literally 4 hours, embracing the principles of design, elimination, automation, and liberation can fundamentally revolutionize how you approach your work, your finances, and your freedom. The tools and strategies exist. The path has been laid. If this has sparked your curiosity, the next step is yours to take. Pick up the book, start your first 80-20 analysis, and begin designing the life you truly want to live.